Okay students, today's class is large intestine. What is its function and what is its structure are described here. Large intestine, it is the last part of the alimentary canal. It is the last part of the alimentary canal. Its diameter is greater than small intestine. Diameter is greater than small intestine. Its length is less than small intestine. Its length about 1.5 meter, whereas the small intestine length is near about 9 meter. Here the length is the 1.5 meter, but diameter is greater than small intestine. We draw the large intestine. It is a long tubular part. And this is the transverse part, this is the ascending part, this is the transverse part, this is the descending part, and this is the sigmoid part, and these are four parts. This tubular structure present in the abdomen, just below our stomach. This is the transverse. This part consists, the large intestine consists several parts. First part is called cecum. Second part is up to, from this portion to this part, this is called ascending colon. Total length is called colon. Ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon. This is called rectum, and this is called anus. These are the parts of a large intestine. Here the first part is the cecum. In the cecum, the small intestine are linked. All digested food particles, the important materials of the food particles are absorbed, and digestion takes place in the small intestine, and these are absorbed in the inner villi of the small intestine. The undigested, non-important and fluidy substances come through the small intestine and enter into this cecum region. This cecum region is guarded by sphincter, a circular muscle, smooth muscle. This sphincter is called ileocecal valve. Ileocecal valve regulate the entrance of the undigested food materials into the cecum. In the end of the cecum, a tubular structure is present. This is called vermiform appendix. This is called vermiform appendix. What is vermiform appendix? Vermiform appendix is the extension of attached in the cecum, and it is rudimentary in case of human. It has no function. It is a vestigial organ. some amount of a lot of lymph glands present here, lymph nodules. These provides the local immunity of our intestine. This is the lymphoids, functional lymphoid organ. But in case of human, other than the provide immunity, it has no specific function. But when due to some infection, this large appendix, swollen and food debris accumulate here and cause a inflammation. This is called appendicitis. Appendicitis. Appendicitis is the inflammation of the appendix and cause a very severe acute abdominal pain. Where in this case, it must be removed by a prescribed and a doctor. The other structure, a special type of structure is found in throughout the colon. 3 bands of longitudinal muscles are observed here. 3 bands. There are 2 bands or 3 bands are generally present in the colon. These bands, some fatty tissue attached with these bands are called taenia coli. Taenia coli. This is the most identifying feature of the colon of large intestine. What are the functions? This is the main general structure. This is the cecum, this is the colon, this is the rectum, and this is the anus. Here the cecum is the temporary storage of the undigested material. The colon is also the storage site, but here some amount of water, some salts, and some amounts of drugs are absorbed here. The undigested food matter present in the colon are absorbed in the blood vessels that are present in the submucosa layer of this large intestine are absorbed. After absorption, they dry, adhering undigested food materials is produced, and this matter stored in the rectum. This matter is called undigested food matter, undigested, adhering, slimy materials is called fecal matter or fecal matter. The process of elimination of the fecal matter through the anus is called defecation. Is called elimination process, the evacuation process called defecation. Defecation is a process by which the fecal matter that is stored in the rectum, that is coming from the colon, are eliminated. By here, the anus is the last aperture opening through which the fecal matter discharged from the body. Here, 2 types of sphincter are present: inner sphincter and outer sphincter. The inner sphincter, inner Anus sphincter is made by smooth muscle and outer sphincter is made by skeletal muscle. By the activity of these muscles, constriction, the constriction is regulated by our local nervous system as well as our peripheral and central nervous system. When the sphincter relax and it is filled with fecal matter and it is relaxed, then the constriction, a rhythmic constriction of the rectal muscles helps the elimination, defecation of this fecal matter from the body. In this case, the inner layer, that is the mucous membrane of the intestine, contains huge number of goblet cell, mucus secretory cell, mucus secreting cell. Mucus is secreted here, poured here, and water is eliminated out, salts are eliminated out, and drugs are absorbed by the blood vessels. And the total dry matter, it is the adhering matter, is called fecal matter, and this fecal matter temporarily stored in the rectum and then eliminated through the anus. These are the large intestine. Here no digestion occurs. Only the water absorption, salt absorption and drug are absorbed, some drugs which we eat for our cure of ailment are eliminated by the large intestine. This is the total structure of our large intestine. And the fecal matter, then the question arises, fecal matter, what is the composition of the fecal matter? Fecal matter contains mainly undigested food materials. What are the composition of the fecal matter? Fecal matter, undigested food materials. Undigested food materials. These include some amounts 10 to 20% fatty substances, (1 to 2% protein, 20 to 30% fiber, food fiber called roughage, some amounts of dead cell and dead bacterial, dead and live, dead plus live pathogen microorganisms. These are secreted, these are excreted by the fecal matter. Fecal matter is not a excretory substance. It is the undigested food material, and these are mainly formed from the extracellular area, not intercellular area space. These the fecal matter, the mineral generally content. When the fecal matter is formed in dry, very dry, when water intake of our body is very minimum and the roughage contain, that is the fiber containing food we take very less amount, then the fecal matter became hard and it cannot easily evacuated through the anus. In this condition, a disorder develop. This is called the constipation. Constipation. What is constipation? When defecation is not easy due to the hardness of the fecal matter. Several internal dysfunction as well as our food habit generally create this constipation abnormality. In this case, we take huge amount of water as well as we take grains and we take several vegetables. Then the fecal matter retain most of its water, and these water helps them to easily move out from the body. This is the procedure by which we can easily recover from constipation. These are the more or less large intestine structure and function. Next, I will teach you about the assimilation process of our digestive system. This is not a particularly functional digestive system. Here, the substances which are absorbed and enter into our blood, they ultimately reach in the liver cell and other cell. These cells are converted the simple monosaccharide as well as amino acid and fatty acid into different complex structures. These are called the assimilation. In the later class, I will discuss about all this fact.